What began as a highly anticipated crossover of Hollywood royalty soon descended into one of the most unexpected and tense moments in daytime television history. Jennifer Lopez and Gwyneth Paltrow, two powerhouse women in the entertainment industry, were booked to appear together on The View for what was advertised as a fun, lighthearted conversation about women in business, fame, and personal growth. Fans were ecstatic to see them share the same couch. But beneath the polite smiles and polished exteriors, there were long-standing tensions neither had ever acknowledged publicly. What transpired on live television wasn't just a clash of personalities, it was a full-blown cultural collision that stunned viewers and left the internet ablaze. As the discussion progressed, it became increasingly clear that this wasn't going to be the feel-good segment producers had hoped for. And when Jennifer Lopez abruptly removed her mic and walked off set mid-show, jaws dropped across America. Asterisk. The tension began subtly. Gwyneth, poised and polished in her usual wellness brand aura, made a comment about how true creativity only comes when you step away from commercialism. The statement, vague at first glance, was quickly interpreted by Jennifer and many in the audience as a dig at her massive branding empire, which includes perfumes, fashion, movies, music, and her recently launched alcohol line. Jennifer, who had been smiling through most of the segment, suddenly leaned forward and said, "I don't think being successful in business means you're any less authentic. Some of us build empires because we didn't start with trust funds." A sharp inhale could be heard from the audience. Gwyneth, caught off guard, smiled stiffly and responded, "Oh, come on, Jen, it's not about money, it's about intention." And just like that, the gloves came off. The calm civility unraveled before millions of viewers who hadn't signed up for a culture war between glamorized hustle and Hollywood minimalism. Asterisk. Jennifer, clearly irritated, began to detail her rise from the Bronx, emphasizing that everything she had, every tour, film role, and business deal, was built on grit, not privilege. "When I talk to girls who look like me, I don't tell them to find themselves on a silent retreat. I tell them to work hard and never apologize for wanting more." The audience broke into applause, but Gwyneth, unamused, fired back. "And maybe if we all stopped glorifying hustle culture, women wouldn't feel so burned out." That comment struck a nerve. Lopez's expression changed. "It's easy to say that when you had a head start," she snapped. Whoopi Goldberg tried to steer the conversation back, asking about their upcoming projects, but the atmosphere had already shifted. The energy between the two stars was icy, and every new question seemed to deepen the divide. It was no longer a panel, it was a showdown. It's two icons, two philosophies, in one very live broadcast. Asterisk. Viewers at home were glued to their screens. Social media exploded within minutes of the exchange, with hashtags like #JLOVs Gwyneth and #TheViewMeltdown trending. Instantly, the live YouTube comments on The View's broadcast turned into a war zone, with fans fiercely defending their favorite. Some praised Jennifer for speaking unapologetically about her journey and calling out the unspoken elitism in Gwyneth's language. Others admired Paltrow's calm demeanor, arguing she was simply misunderstood. Back on set, Joy Behar attempted humor to cut the tension, joking, "Well, I guess we're not making green smoothies together anytime soon." The joke fell flat. Jennifer folded her arms and stared ahead. And then, in a moment that caught even the producers off guard, she removed her microphone, stood up, and said calmly but firmly, "I don't need to be here for this." She turned and walked off the stage without another word. Silence consumed the studio. No music, no applause. It's just stunned faces and dead air. Asterisk. The internet lost its mind. Within an hour, major media outlets had clipped the entire confrontation, dissecting each line, each facial expression, and every ounce of body language. YouTubers uploaded hour-long breakdowns titled, "What Really Happened Between JLO and Gwyneth and The View's Most Explosive Moment Ever." Analysts and gossip columnists resurfaced past interviews, noting that Lopez and Paltrow had always had a frosty relationship. Fans recalled Gwyneth's 2015 quote, implying she didn't really understand why JLo was famous. That old wound now felt freshly reopened. Meanwhile, Jennifer Lopez posted a cryptic Instagram story, a black screen with the words "No. Your worth Always. Gwyneth Paltrow, in her signature Goop-style response, released a soft-toned statement on her wellness site. Sometimes conversations get heated when passionate women discuss things they care deeply about. I respect Jennifer's journey. To many it sounded more like a subtle dig than an apology. Asterisk, the fallout extended beyond the stars themselves. ABC issued a statement saying they valued open dialogue and would continue to strive for respectful and inclusive conversation on The View. Behind the scenes, producers were in full damage control mode. Reports leaked that Jennifer had warned producers in advance not to pair her with Gwyneth, citing creative differences, but the network had proceeded anyway, banking on ratings. Well, they got what they wanted, and then some. PR teams from both camps began working overtime. JLo's team positioned her walkout as a moment of integrity, standing up against subtle shade and elitist undertones. Gwyneth's team painted her as graceful under pressure, a composed intellectual unfairly attacked. The public? Split down the middle. Talk radio hosts, morning shows, and podcasts all took sides. Some called it Hollywood ego at its worst. Others saw it as a microcosm of the real-life tension between hustle culture and privilege-wrapped self-care. Asterisk, meanwhile, on The View, the remaining co-hosts addressed the walkout the following day. Whoopi, clearly annoyed by the whole thing, said, "Sometimes strong personalities clash. That's showbiz." Joy Behar, more candid, admitted, "I honestly didn't expect it to go that far. But hey, at least we got ratings." Laughed, but the tension hadn't fully evaporated. One co-host quietly hinted at how often celebrities bring unresolved feuds to the table. "It's not always what you see on camera," she said. That single line led to a flood of speculation. Was this a feud years in the making? Had Lopez and Paltrow clashed behind closed doors before? Did this moment simply expose what had long been brewing? The gossip machine kicked into high gear. Every red carpet interaction, every old soundbite, every shade-filled award show moment between the two stars was now being reanalyzed under a microscope. Asterisk in the days that followed. Jennifer Lopez didn't hide. She made appearances in New York and LA, smiling for cameras but refusing to answer questions about The View. Gwyneth remained quieter, opting to focus on her brand while posting aspirational quotes about energy and growth. Yet they're silent. War played out loudly in pop culture. Fashion blogs ranked who won the confrontation in terms of presence and power. Business analysts compared their empires. Feminist commentators debated whether this incident showed the dangers of pitting strong women against each other, or if it revealed a much-needed dialogue about class, race, and perception within female celebrity culture. JLoA, Puerto Rican. Woman from the Bronx, symbolized the raw, relentless grind. Gwyneth, a descendant of Hollywood royalty, embodied privilege, grace, and understated dominance. And somehow, their live clash had unlocked deeper cultural conversations the producers never intended. Asterisk, what began as just another TV segment turned into a defining moment for both women. Jennifer Lopez's walk-off became symbolic a moment of drawing a line, of choosing dignity over diplomacy. For her fans, it was a mic drop that proved she wouldn't be belittled or subtly mocked. Gwyneth's controlled poise, on the other hand, won her admiration among those who valued quiet strength and restraint. But the question lingered. Could this have been avoided with better mediation? Or was this explosion inevitable given their vastly different worlds? As the noise settled, both stars seemed to lean into the identities the public had given them. Jennifer channeled her frustration into music, reportedly writing a new song reflecting on betrayal and grace under fire. Gwyneth expanded her Goop brand to include a new podcast episode about navigating conflict without losing your center. Even from a distance, their post-clash moves seemed like continued chapters in the same battle. Asterisk in the end. The infamous View showdown became more than celebrity gossip. It became a case study in how fame, identity, and perception collide. The world saw not just Jennifer Lopez versus Gwyneth Paltrow, but two versions of womanhood. Two philosophies, two American dreams. And while one walked off and the other stayed, seated, both left an undeniable imprint. Whether you saw it as an unfortunate spat or an empowering confrontation, one thing was certain: the world was watching, listening, reacting. And perhaps that was the most telling part of all. In a media landscape cluttered with noise, this moment cut through. Because it wasn't just about Hollywood, it was about how we navigate difference in public, in power, and in person. And no matter where you stand, the moment Jennifer Lopez walked off stage, history was made.